Let's go ahead and practice movement principle 2A. Yeah, so go ahead and lie down on your backs. Have your straps handy. And then place your blocks, 2 blocks at the front of your mat. Right? So then just go ahead and plop yourself on the floor. Right? No need to be super formal or precise about it. Just kind of let your body come to a super restful place. Right? Just let your arms hang down by your sides, let your legs flap open, and just rest your head on the mat. Then take 2 deep breaths. You're going to inhale through your nose. Hold the breath. Open your mouth. Sigh it out. One more time. In through your nose. Hold. Sigh out the mouth. Feel a blanket of relief in the body. Right? And really just kind of let that water settle. Remember, we've been moving around in our bodies, in our minds. Just let it naturally come back to that calm, smooth surface water. And then now here, with a little bit of time, right, the body's kind of fallen into its habits. You might notice here, just get a sense, scan the body. Notice first simple things like your head touching the floor, the backs of your hands down to your heels. And then rest your attention on your pelvis, right on the hips. Become curious about the shape and relationship of your lower back, the curve to the floor. Some might have a very pronounced arch. Others, you really got to pay attention and notice to really sense that the lower back is not completely flat on the floor. Good. And then without trying to change anything about the body, try to keep it as still as possible. I want you now to lift your head and look down at your toes. Lift your head, look down at your toes. Good. And then go ahead and put your head back down on the floor. For most of us, you'll notice that one leg, one of the toes is more pointed out at an angle than the other. Right? That the pinky toes on maybe your right foot's closer to the floor, and the left one looks like it's pointing straight up. Right? Whatever the discrepancy is. Right? That could be an indicator that the inner groins on one side is much tighter than the other. But whatever it is, there's an imbalance in this rotational plane. Cool. All right, and then now from here, just beginning to warm the joint up. You're going to slowly begin to bend the left knee, foot on the floor, and then bend your right. Both feet on the floor. Now we're just going to continue to open up the left knee. You're going to let the left knee fall to the floor, and then straighten the leg on the ground, and then rebend. Right? Do this about 3 or 4 times, taking your time, making sure that you pause at the end of each point to kind of let go of that effort, or at least that support to get the leg down into those positions. Right? When you straighten the leg, there's a little bit of muscular effort to do that. but hit that end point where the leg is straight, and then pause. Just let all the effort exit your leg. And when you bend, you'll feel the flexor of your hip, the knee or the hamstring engaging. Then once you get there, let the leg relax. Right? Like 2 more times. Comes out, relax, straight, relax. And just letting your curiosity rest in that relationship of your thigh and where it meets the hip socket. Good. And then when both knees are bent, go ahead and change direction. Staying same leg, left leg now goes straight. Bending to the left. Pause, and then point the knee up, right? Do that 3 more times. Go straight. Out to the side. Points back up. And just very gently swishing the joint, letting all of the fluid and blood start to flow into the socket of your hip. But also in combination or in addition to this physiological warming up, right? There's this energetic and mental focus, right? That there's this attention that's slowly being pulled into these sensations of the hip. Okay, now let's go and pause and hold, do the other side. Begin to drop the right knee out to the side. And then straighten. And then knee bends. And then you might even notice here, right? This is a wonderful place to apply kind of contrast to comparison. Right? When I bring my leg out to the side with my right leg, I feel my hips kind of wobbling more than my left. Or maybe for you, it's less. Right? I find that my hips turn less to the right versus when I drop my knee on the left side. Right? And again, I want to caution you from being like, oh, this is right and this is wrong. But kind of letting, noticing if that's kind of what's popping up for you. And then just noticing it. Right? Notice that that's what happens, and then just let it go. Notice it pass. And then if you haven't already, switching directions, right? Staying on the right leg, it goes straight, knee bends, and comes back up, like last 2. Straight, bends to the side, and then points up. Last one. It becomes less and less about right and wrong, and being a little bit more honest and connected to the reality, at least in the physical plane, of what your body is telling you. Right? And then now both knees are bent, feet on the floor. Take a moment there. And then now from here, you're going to go ahead and hug your left knee into your chest. Squeeze the knee into the center of your chest. Take a breath. Good. And then now move the knee more towards your left armpit. And then notice here, are you able to pull the leg up a little bit closer? Maybe you notice a little more flexion in your left hip. And then now glide your knee as far out to the left, like you're trying to bring it to the outside of your left shoulder. Are you able to fold at your left hip a little bit more? Good. And then from here, step your left foot back down to the floor. Hug now your right knee closer to the midline, right into the center of your sternum. Might feel a little bit crunchy in the right hip flexor, right? And then notice what happens here. If you widen it a little bit, bring it to your right armpit. Can you hug the thigh in a little bit closer? And then very slowly slide the knee out more like you're going to tap the outer right shoulder. Good. And then bring that right leg back down. Grab your strap. Hug your left knee into your chest. And then step your foot into the strap. Straighten the left leg up towards the sky. And then go ahead and pump that leg a couple times. You're gonna bend, pull it into your center of your chest, and then straighten. Bend the knee towards your left armpit, and then straighten. Knee more towards the outer left shoulder, and then straighten. Do that one more time. Knee towards the center of your chest, and straighten. To the armpit, and then straighten the leg. Towards the outer shoulder, and then straighten the leg. Good. Now go ahead and take both straps into your left hand. Keep pushing your left thigh bone down towards your right foot, the top of your left thigh. It's like you're trying to squish your left butt cheek back down into the floor. Spread your left toes, firm your left kneecap, right? And then engage the back of your left thigh. Now begin to turn your left toes out to the left, and then back towards your head. Turn to the left, back to your head. Turn the toes leftwards. Now begin to straighten your right leg on the floor. Use your right hand, place it on the top of your right thigh. Now you want to try to continue to squash both of your butt cheeks into the floor, and then engage the front of your belly. Now slowly begin to bring your left leg out to the side and pause. Turn the toes even more, lift the left heel upwards. Lower it again, pause, turn, turn, turn. Right hand top of the thigh. Try to squish your right butt cheek down into the floor. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the right foot. Bring the left leg as far down towards the floor as you can before your right hip starts turning to the left. Keep turning the inner heel up. Point the left toes down. Now take your right arm, spread it out to the right. Try to reach out through your right fingertips and then fan your left toes, just like you're fanning your right fingers. Try to stand really tall in your right leg, top of the head, reaching up. Good, keep that action. Now go ahead and begin to bring your left leg all the way back up. Engage this left leg, let go of the strap, keep reaching through your left leg. Keep the belly now involved to stabilize your pelvis. Lower the leg to the floor, let your legs flop. Become curious of the sensations. Do you notice what you're noticing, right? Are you noticing this very specific actions that you just did and the impact and imprints that it creates? Okay, now bend both knees, hug the right knee into your chest, center of your chest, strap your foot. Arms are straight, straighten the right leg up. Spread your toes, and then bend the knee to the chest, and then straighten the leg. Knee towards the armpit, straighten the leg. Knee towards the outer shoulder, straighten the leg. Last time, to the chest, straight, armpit, straight, as wide out as you can get it, like you're gonna wrap it around the back of your head, and then straight. Good, spread your toes, both straps in the right hand, straighten your right arm at the elbow. Pull the right shoulder blade back down into the floor. Straighten your left leg. Turn the right toes away from your head. Turn it back to your head. 2 more times. Turn, head, turn top of the thigh. Keep turning. Lower the leg a little bit to the right. Left hand on top of the left thigh. Push it down to the floor. Push through the strap with your right big toe. Ball of the right big toe a little bit more down to the right. Turn the heel, drop the left thigh down into the floor, anchor the pelvis, lower the leg a little bit more, keep reaching through the ball of your right big toe, anchor the hips back down into the floor. Find that edge. Notice a part where, yeah, I'm trying to bring my leg wider out, but then now my hip's starting to move, right? Can you anchor your pelvis by pushing the top of your left thigh back down into the ground? Good. Keep action and energy in your right leg. Lift it back up. Keep stretching into the strap. Let the strap go. Keep reaching through your leg. Lower the leg, and then release. Let both legs flap. Cool. All right, now hug both knees into your chest. Rock a couple times forward and back. And let's get into hands and knees, everybody. Actually, let's just dive right into downward facing dog. Have those two blocks out front. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Lift the knees and then slot the top thighs into your hips, right? Keep the knees bent and just slide your thighs back, back, back. See if you can stick your butt, press your sit bones to the ceiling, and then spread your toes. Try to now keep driving your thighs as far back. And it's not necessarily a matter of trying to straighten your knees, but lift your butt, your sit bones higher and higher until your knees move towards straight. Don't worry about straightening the knees. Good. Keep spinning the inner thighs in, spreading the toes. Spread the fingers, let the head hang, ears between the arms. Awesome. Now everybody come up onto the balls of the feet, lift the hips up nice and tall, and then begin to bend the knees, come into a pounce. Keep sliding the thighs as far back as you can. Good. Take an inhale here. Feel the breath fill into your sit bones, and as you exhale, look forward, and then rock into plank. All right, just warming up a little bit. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale, rock back, downward facing. Inhale into plank. Exhale, downward dog. Last time, shift forward. Rock it back. Good. Inhale, balls of the feet. Exhale, shift those thighs back. Look forward, step your left foot to the front of the mat. Move the foot towards the outer left wrist. Now take your blocks under your hands and then lift your chest up. Slide now your left thumb into the crease of your hip. Push this left thigh bone down. Spread your left toes. Right? And then now from here, flip your right heel down to the floor. Feel your outer left butt cheek getting swooped out to the left. Okay, now turn the right heel back up. Do that 2 more times. Spin the heel to the floor and then point it back up. Last time, heel to the floor and then back up. Just like when you were lying down on the floor now, take your outer left hip, firm it up, push down into your inner left foot. Now turn your right heel without letting your left butt cheek get bullied off to the side. Okay, so now it's just rotation in the right leg. Cool. Okay, and then now from here, go ahead and come on up. You're gonna press both palms together in front of your chest. Keep dropping this left thigh. Push down into the outer edge of your right foot, and then spin your outer right hip forward. Awesome. So now your left thigh is in neutral still, but the outer right hip is rotating. Now we're going to change the direction. You're going to take your right hand across your bottom right ribs, left hand wrapping around your outer left butt cheek. Now you're going to turn your chest to the right, and then again, you'll notice your butt getting pushed left side out, inner knee buckling in. Okay? Turn the chest forward. Wrap the fingers around your outer left butt cheek. Turn the ribs to the right. Okay, now your butt might have swung out a little bit less. Face forward once again. Now this time, don't let your left butt cheek get swung out to the side. You're just gonna take your right ribs and start to turn it over to the right side. Now the front leg is in external rotation. Push down into your inner left foot. Take now your right hand, front of your right thigh, top of your right thigh, push this thigh back. Then you might notice it's swinging your butt again out to the left. You'll feel some maybe pinching in your inner left knee. Take your sacrum and point the tailbone straight down. Right rib cage turning to the right. Now spread your arms. Virabhadrasana number 2, warrior 2. 2 breaths. Breathe into the inner left groin. As you exhale, tailbone lengthens to the floor. Good, nice and tall. One more breath. Then spin your hands down to the floor. Step your left foot back, plank. Then you got downward facing. Take a breath. Notice the sensations. Good. When you're ready, balls of the feet. Slide those thighs back. Then step the right foot forward. Use the blocks. Come up onto your hands. Lift your chest. Make the feet not only wider forward and back, right, if you weren't able to take a complete step forward, but also side to side. It'll set us up more properly for warrior 2. Right? When the feet are wider left and right. Then now take your hands, glove the outer right hip, right thumb into the crease of your hip, holding onto the outer right butt cheek. And since you kind of know what you're looking for, but just kind of let it happen, right? What happens when you just spin the left heel to the floor? Point it back up. Rotate the left thigh. What happens to the outer right side? Last time, spin it to the floor. And then now point that heel up. Firm the outer right hip, push down into your right inner foot. And then just from your left thigh, turn the thigh so that the heel and the foot land flat on the ground. And then now from here, go ahead and come on up. Virabhadrasana number 1, warrior 1. Press the palms together. Keep taking this outer left hip, wrapping it forward. Tuck the tailbone down, bend forward into your right knee. Press your palms together. There's so much beauty in this pose, but it is a very challenging pose, for sure. Take those fingers, glove the outer right hip again. Left fingertips on the left rib cage. Now turn your ribs to the left. Then you'll feel your butt. If you're not mindful of it, it's just going to swing out to the side and you're going to feel this pressure in your inner right knee. Try it a couple times. Turn your chest forward, then spin it to the left. Good. Last time. This time, keep your outer right hip hugged in, spread your right toes, push the inner right foot. Now just turn your ribs to the left. The hips are going to start to face that way, but now it's supported, this right leg. Less buckling of the inner right foot. Outer right hip is engaging to tuck the thigh under. Left fingertips on the top of your left thigh. Neutralize this hip, push this thigh back, and then heavier tailbone down to the floor. You'll feel your belly all of a sudden turn on. Now spread your arms, warrior 2. Look gracefully, with ease, beyond your right fingertips. Good, take one more easy breath. Take the hands down to the floor. Step your right foot back into plank. Take an inhale. Downward facing dog. And keep moving. Balls of the feet, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Spin the back heel down. Hug the outer hip. Stand up. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Firm the outer hip. Reach, reach, reach. And then now from here, bring your right hand to your hip and straighten your left leg. You're going to place the left block on the inside of your left foot. Hands on the hips. This right hip spinning forward, this thigh pressing back, ribs turning to the right. Reach your left hand like you're sliding it across a table. Both legs are straight. And then bring your hand down if you can reach the block, but encourage everybody to start with their hand right underneath their knee. Right? You're going to take this outer right hip, keep spinning it down towards the floor. Take your right ribs and spin it up towards the ceiling, and then push down into your inner left foot. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inner left foot pushing into the ground. Top of this left thigh hugging back into the hip. Outer left butt cheek engaging. Top of your right thigh, push it back like you're trying to swing your butt back. And then meet the tailbone there. On the back side, pull it down towards your right heel. Now reach your right arm up. By the ear, Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. Good. And then now from here, reach your right arm up. Stand, stand, stand. Keep your arms nice and long. Bend the left knee. Spin your hands down to the floor. Step back to plank. Take an inhale. Downward facing dog. Try that on the right side. Balls of the feet. Step forward with your right foot. Spin the back heel. Don't let your butt spin out. Remember, neutralize the pelvis. Stand up. Warrior one. Warrior two. Don't let your butt swing out. Just turn the chest to the left. Spread your toes out. Connect on the inner and outer edges of your feet. Now bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your right leg. Take your outer left hip, and it's like you're trying to face your hips forward, but there's like a wall here that you're pushing your outer left hip into. Now take your top left thigh and then swing your butt back a little bit, and then meet that with a tailbone, like there's a fishing weight on your tailbone, pointing straight down to the floor. Slide your right arm out like you're sliding it across the table, and then just like that arm is on the table, push down into the table. So you want to lift the right side of your ribs. Now bring the right hand down onto your shin, right underneath your knee, or the inside of your foot. Notice here that if you're trying to touch the floor and your spine is all bended over to the side like that, just lift your hand up so you can straighten your spine out. From your left foot to the top of your head is Tadasana. Right? If I stood myself up and I was like this, I'd be all crooked. Can I feel first here this balance in the spine as I really only just rotate my right thigh? Push down into the inner feet, spread your toes, turn the ribs up towards the ceiling, reach the left arm by the ear. Good. Charge up your left arm. Reach, 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 stand. Rebend the right leg. Hands come down to the floor. Plank. Inhale and plank. Downward facing dog. Good. Last standing pose. Take a breath. Step your left foot forward. Spin the back heel down. Take your time. On the next inhale, come up. Warrior one. Warrior two. Straighten the forward leg. Get set in your hips. Feel the base in your feet. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand on the hip. Use your block. Oof. Move the block a little bit, maybe 12, 15 inches in front of you. Take a small step up with your right foot and then lift your right leg up off the floor. Point or flex your right ankle. Take your outer right hip, the top hip, spin it down towards the floor, and then find rotation in your left thigh. Lift the left rib cage, spread the arms. Yeah. Good. Keep reaching through your right leg. Bend, bend, bend your left knee. Keep reaching. Back into triangle. Rebend that forward leg, warrior two. Spin the hands down to the floor. Step it back. Downward dog. Inhale, balls of your feet. Step forward. Spin the back heel down. Firm the hips. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Keep those hips in line. Straighten the forward leg. Hands on the hips. reach, Trikonasana triangle. Now bend your right knee, use your block a little bit forward and out to the right. So not directly in line with your foot, a little bit wider. Lift the left leg, spin this outer hip, push this left thigh back into space, pull the tailbone to your heels, and then push down into your inner right foot. Open from the groin down to the inner right foot. Now take your left rib cage and spin it up towards the sky. Oh, it's just like when we're lying down on the floor, remember? Doing a great job, everybody. Bend your right knee, reach back with the left foot, all the way back into Trikonasana. Rebend your right knee, Virabhadrasana 2. Hands spin down to the floor. Plank. Inhale and plank. Downward facing. Good. Set the knees down onto the floor. And let's go ahead and lie right back onto our back. Yeah. Stick around if you can. I'm going to just begin to cool us down. Right? But if you need to hop off and jump onto another class, I feel you. Right? Go for it. I suggest and recommend, if you need to cut out now, just stretch the outer edge of your hips. Right? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. We'll do Shavasana after. So go ahead and cross your ankles over your knees. Thread the needle. See if you can try to point your tailbone back down towards the floor. Right? Adjust your hands. If you're holding on your shin and you're all turtled up, then just move your hands and make it so that you can rebalance your pelvis so that the spine is still neutral and all of the stretch is happening more in the left outer hip. All right, take 3 more breaths here. Good. Release. And then switch sides. Right over left knee. Thread your hands through the center, right hand, holding onto the shin or just the back of your thigh. Push your leg, your left leg, try to push them forward. Even if you're holding onto the shin, make it so as if you're trying to strain that left leg back down on the floor. And then let there be a sense of natural flow of breath in your right outer hip. Right? So you're not engaging muscles, you're just setting the shape and letting the breath move through the full range. Good. And then now let's go ahead and release. You're going to go ahead and now bring both feet down on the floor. Widen your feet about as wide as your mat. And cactus your arms out to the sides. You're just going to drop your knees over to the left. Let's take a simple twist here. And today we'll keep the head neutral. You see your head just pointing straight up towards the ceiling, your nose. And just take 3 deep breaths here. Feel the front of the body open on the inhale. And then as you exhale, feel the tailbone wanting to naturally tuck a little bit, and the back of the body gets longer. Good. And then swivel the knees up, take an inhale, and then drop the legs over to the right. Nice, easy breaths. Good. And then direct the knees back up towards the ceiling. Stretch your arms up overhead. Stretch your legs on the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Curl into a little ball. Eyes are closed. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release your head. Let your legs come down to the ground. Arms by your sides. Allow your tongue to soften. Your lips to relax. Jaws. The center of your eyebrows begin to sink towards the floor. Allow the breath even to grow more quiet and still. And now allow the mind to have the freedom and space. If it chooses to be still or if it bounces around, allow it that space and freedom. And welcome the attention back through sensation. Begin to feel your head, your hands, your legs on the floor. Just notice the sensation. Feel the temperature on your body, on the skin. Notice sounds. All of it comes and goes. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. And then from here, go ahead and press your palms together in front of your heart. And then now bring your thumb knuckles to the center of your eyes. Just softly rest the ridge of the center of your eyebrows on your knuckles. Allow it to signify a point of focus. Even this, just a simple sensation. That with this easy focus, all other things come and go. Right? And one last time, hands by your sides. On the following inhale, an easy open of the eyes. Take your time, don't be in a rush to move. This is the natural state of you, and it is not because of anything else. And that's our class for today.